Prepare for the crisis now. As the economic, political, and social situations continue to deteriorate, these serve as an indicator for what is to come, and now is the time to take the necessary actions to protect your personal wealth and your families from the impending crisis. This video will discuss unemployment conditions and its effect on housing for Americans. So if that sounds interesting, stick around and check it out. If you enjoyed this content, then be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. On the path for economic collapse. We must be mindful that it's the government's job, through mass media sources, to keep the general public from panicking and losing faith in the current economy and government. In order for the government to exist, it has to have the full faith and confidence of its people. As soon as that is no longer, the government is doomed. This is why the government will spin any story it has to in order to keep itself in power. I'm not suggesting that government is bad. To the contrary, it is necessary for civilized society to exist. I'm just saying that you can't trust at face value what you're being told is the absolute truth. You have to be a critical and independent thinker to wade through the media muck to get to the real truth. We need to be able to accept that we are not going to get the complete truth from the government or the mass media on how bad things really are or how bad things could really get. In order to get the complete truth, we must pay attention to all sources of information around us, local, national, and international. Once you begin to truly see the situation for what it is, you will see that a severe economic crisis is already in effect and will continue to get worse. America is printing money to infinity. The Fed interest rate is at only a quarter point. The national debt is looming at $26.7 trillion. The real unemployment rate is likely 16%, which means 1 in 6 people can't find work. Without legislation to incentivize employers to keep their employees on the payroll, many employers will be dropping employees from the employment rolls, and they will soon be joining the unemployment statistics. The general consensus is that people no longer feel their furloughed jobs will come back. Over 100,000 businesses have shut down since the health crisis. 250 American malls are projected to close within the next 5 years. 46 companies with over $1 billion in assets filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 2020, along with 157 companies with $50 million in liabilities and 33 U.S. oil-gas companies, and the list goes on. As all of these businesses close, millions of Americans will join the 16% already unemployed, and the results will be devastating both economically and socially. Small businesses can't survive with their doors shut for more than 90 days. They aren't a big corporate conglomerate with huge cash flow funds that can sustain their businesses during the lean times. Most small businesses run month to month, which means after about 3 months of no income, they will either have to start considering taking credit to pay for their operating expenses or shut their doors permanently. Many of these businesses that rely on people to congregate, like restaurants, bars, theaters, and other entertainment venues, have already realized their businesses are doomed. Many others just won't be able to sustain their business, as patronage will probably never be the same as they projected when they originally developed their business model. There will have to be an evolution to small businesses from this point forward. What does this mean for all the employees that worked for these businesses? According to the Labor Department, 1 million unemployment claims were filed just last week. 59 million Americans filed for unemployment over the last 23 weeks. To put this into perspective, even if there were no more unemployment claims in 2020, this year would be the worst year for unemployment in American history. Surveys report that people don't think that they can make ends meet without more federal assistance, and yet Congress decided to break for summer recess without reaching a deal on the stimulus assistance for Americans. So, as all these jobs dissolve, it only means that our unemployment rates will continue to climb. The government can't supplement the nation with helicopter money forever. Just the fact that most Americans have only received one stimulus check since this health crisis began is testament that the politicians do not have their priorities in order. We're talking about the direct health and well-being of the American people. What could possibly take precedent over that? Mortgage delinquency figures are tied directly to the unemployment rate figures, which makes sense. For most Americans, their rent or mortgage is their greatest expense. Unemployment benefits typically last for 26 weeks. However, each state dictates the length of unemployment benefits. There is a new proposal that would extend a $600 unemployment benefit indefinitely until the coronavirus ends, but this can stop at any time and most likely will when the dollar loses its international status as the world reserve currency and the government can no longer just print money. And then what? So the unemployment status of Americans exceeding 90 days will lead to more mortgage delinquency and the increased number of long-term 90 days or more of delinquency when usually foreclosures are considered. And once the state and federal eviction moratoriums expire, how long do you think it'll be before the banks begin foreclosing on properties to begin recovering their losses? As people become delinquent in paying their rent or mortgage, landlords and banks will be forced to evict tenants in order to make way for people who can make their payments. This will mean families will have to begin racking and stacking in combined households. It's either that or they pitch a tent somewhere. Where do you think the majority of these people will go first? Most likely straight to family and friends to seek shelter. If you have taken all the necessary preparations for your family and are fortunate enough to already own your home or have the wealth to keep your mortgage or rent in good standing, you may very well have a desperate extended family member with their family in tow knocking on your door seeking shelter. Will you turn them away? If not, then are you prepared to take them in and support them as well? Remember that they will probably be jobless and have no income to support themselves or assist with groceries, utilities, gas, car repairs, or anything else. If you think that landlords and banks won't put good people out on the streets, then think again. Homeless tent cities are becoming a more commonplace around the country. East Coast, West Coast, and everywhere in between. It's sad to see Americans reduced to this level. This is why we must accept the reality of the current situation and take action to prepare before it's too late. Did you find this information informative? Do you have the necessary resources to keep your home during a crisis? If so, are you prepared to support extended family members and loved ones during the crisis? Let me know in the comments section below. A big thank you to all who support this channel by watching the entire video, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. It is greatly appreciated. If you are not yet a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. Then be sure to select the notification bell to be notified as soon as I post up new content. If you enjoy conversations about silver stacking, prepping, finance, the economy, and the news events that impact them, then stop by the Silver Torch 66 Discord, where you can watch videos, monitor conversations, or even chime in yourself and be a part of them. There are multiple subject rooms so that you can choose subjects that you're interested in. It runs 24/7 and is absolutely free. So stop by and check it out. The link will be in the Show More section below. If you enjoy giveaways, talking about precious metals, trivia contests to win free silver, and bullion auctions where you can bid to acquire coins, rounds, bars, and custom poured silver, then check out the Silver Torch 66 live chat auction every Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you there.